The movie opens with Spider-Man telling his own story, and he sounds tired of it. Spider bite, dead uncle, great responsibility, 10 years of saving New York, plus a cereal, a theme park, and a Christmas album nobody asked for. He will be dead in 20 minutes. Everything after that belongs to a kid who is not ready. That kid is Miles Morales, and he is late. He is 13, living in Brooklyn with his mother Rio, a nurse, and his father Jefferson, a police officer. Rio loves him out loud. Jefferson loves him through rules. Miles has just started at Brooklyn Visions Academy, a boarding school for gifted students, where he sleeps during the week and comes home on weekends. He hates it there, and not because it is hard. He did not test in. His name was pulled in a lottery. A kid who already feels out of place has been handed proof that his best opportunity was luck, so he tries to lose it. He takes a physics test and gets every single answer wrong, hoping to get expelled and sent back to his old school. His teacher hands it back and points out the obvious. The only way to get every answer wrong is to know every answer. That scene explains the whole movie. Miles is not struggling. Miles is hiding, a talented kid pretending to be an average one because average is safer than being watched. The one person who never watches him that way is his uncle. Aaron Davis is Jefferson's brother, and he is everything Jefferson is not: relaxed, funny, and completely uninterested in Miles's grades. Aaron also knows Miles's real talent: spray paint. Miles is a street artist, and a good one, which his cop father treats as a crime and his uncle treats as a gift. So one night, Aaron takes him to an abandoned subway tunnel deep under the city, with a huge blank wall and nobody around to stop them. Miles works for hours. When he finishes, Aaron tells him he has real talent, and he means it. It is the last simple moment the two of them will ever have. While Miles is finishing up, a spider drops onto his hand and bites him. Not a normal spider. Strange markings, a faint glow, and a lab it escaped from, owned by a company called Alchemax. Miles swats it away and goes home to bed. The next morning, everything is wrong. His clothes do not fit because he grew overnight. His voice cracks. His hands stick to everything. His locker, the wall, and worst of all, the hair of a new girl at school named Gwen, who has to cut herself loose with scissors. He panics, runs, and sprints straight up the side of a building. Then he picks up a Spider-Man comic and it glues itself to his palm, and the pieces click together. He has Spider-Man's powers. He does not feel chosen. He feels sick. He goes back to the tunnel to find that spider because he wants an explanation more than he wants a superpower. What he finds instead is a war. Under the city, Spider-Man is fighting the Green Goblin over a machine the size of a city block. It is called the Super Collider, built by Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, a crime boss shaped like a wall. It opens doorways between parallel universes, and it is unstable enough to tear New York apart. Miles hides, Miles slips, Miles falls, and Spider-Man catches him. And in that moment, Spider-Man realizes what he is holding. He looks at this terrified kid and says he thought he was the only one. It is the first time an adult has looked at Miles and seen something already there instead of something to be fixed. Spider-Man tells him to stay put and goes to shut the machine down with a small override drive. He almost finishes. Then a masked figure drops in. Heavy purple coat, metal claws, the Prowler. He breaks Spider-Man's rhythm, and the Green Goblin grabs him from behind. High above, Kingpin gives the order. The collider fires. The blast bends reality. Spider-Man is thrown into the beam and comes down under the rubble, badly hurt. Miles reaches him, and Spider-Man presses the override drive into his hands, tells him the machine will kill everyone if it runs again, and asks him to promise to destroy it. Miles promises. Spider-Man tells him to run. Miles runs, and from a hiding place, he watches Kingpin finish Spider-Man off. A murder he was too small to stop, and a promise he had no business making. The Prowler spots him. Miles barely escapes, and does not stop running until he is in his parents' doorway in the middle of the night. He tells them nothing. He just asks if he can sleep at home. By morning, the city knows. Peter Parker is dead at 26. He had been Spider-Man for 10 years, was separated from his wife, and had been thinking about starting a family. The whole city grieves at once. Thousands show up to the memorial in Spider-Man costumes because he saved so many of them personally. Mary Jane speaks about his kindness. Miles buys a cheap costume off a street vendor, an old man who tells him there are no refunds, then adds that the suit always fits eventually. Standing in that crowd in a suit 2 sizes too small, Miles decides he has to keep the promise. He climbs a building to make his first swing. He freezes, loses his footing, and falls hard. When he hits the ground, the override drive shatters in his hand. He has now failed the only thing anyone ever asked of him. He goes to Peter Parker's grave to apologize to a man he met twice. Someone comes up behind him. Miles panics and knocks him flat, and the stranger is wearing a Spider-Man suit, which is impossible because Spider-Man is buried under their feet. The man is Peter B. Parker, from another universe, pulled here the instant the collider fired. He is 38, out of shape, wearing sweatpants under the costume, and he has been Spider-Man for over 20 years. His Aunt May is dead. His marriage collapsed, mostly because Mary Jane wanted to talk about having kids, and he could not face it. He was eating pizza alone when a hole in reality swallowed him. He is not a mentor. He is a burnout who happens to know the job. The two get chased, tangled together, dragged across the roof of a moving train, and finally land somewhere quiet. And there the film's real idea arrives. Spider-Man was never one person. There have been others all along. Miles admits the override is destroyed. Peter says they will build another, which means breaking into Alchemax for the Collider data. Inside Alchemax, they meet Dr. Olivia Octavius. Cheerful, brilliant, lab coat, friendly smile, lead scientist on the Collider. Two things happen there. First, Peter discovers Miles has abilities no other spider has. He turns invisible when he panics, and he generates a burst of bioelectricity, a venom blast under pressure. Neither works on command. Second, Miles fails the actual job. He cannot crack the computer, so he rips the hard drive out of the desk and runs with it under his arm. Meanwhile, Olivia scans Peter and finds something alarming. His cells are breaking down. His body is rejecting this universe. Every hour he stays, he gets closer to dying. Then she stops smiling, and 4 enormous mechanical arms unfold from her back. Olivia Octavius is this world's Dr. Octopus, and she works for Kingpin. The fight spills into the woods. Peter is failing, Miles is useless, and Doc Ock is about to end it, when another Spider-Woman swings in and levels her. She pulls off her mask. It is Gwen, not a classmate at all. She was bitten in her own universe 2 years ago, in a world where there was no Spider-Man, only a Peter Parker who was her best friend, who tried to make himself special so he could stand beside her, and who died in her arms for it. Then the film explains Kingpin, and he is not a man who wants power. Years ago, Fisk was beating Spider-Man half to death when his wife Vanessa and his son Richard walked in and saw what he really was. They ran, they got in a car to get away from him, and they died in the crash. Everything since, the crime, the Collider, the murder, is one man trying to open a door to a universe where his family still loves him. Gwen leads them to a house in Queens. Aunt May opens the door, looks at Peter B, and tells him he is not her Peter. Then she lets them in anyway. Under her shed is Peter Parker's real base, full of suits and gear. She knew everything the whole time and has been holding it together alone. And inside are 3 more people who fell through the same hole. Spider-Man Noir, a hard-boiled detective from a black and white 1933 who has never seen color. Peni Parker, a girl from the year 3145 who pilots a robot linked to a spider that lives inside it. And Peter Porker, Spider-Ham, a cartoon pig who does not obey physics. All of them were bitten. All of them lost someone. All of them are dying slowly the longer they stay. Peter B lays out the plan. Turn the Collider on one last time to send everyone home, then destroy it. Whoever stays behind does not survive. Miles volunteers instantly, and every one of them tells him no. He cannot swing, cannot control his powers, cannot fight Kingpin. Peter B says it to his face, and Miles hears the same verdict he has heard his whole life. Not yet. Not you. He walks out. He goes to the one person who never made him prove anything and lets himself into Aaron's empty apartment. Someone comes in. He hides. The Prowler takes off his mask and it is Uncle Aaron. There is no music sting. There is only a boy realizing the man who told him he had talent has been hunting him for 2 days and was in the room when Spider-Man died. Aaron hears him and sees a small figure in a Spider-Man suit. He puts the mask back on and chases him across the city. Miles barely escapes to Aunt May's, and before he can finish saying who the Prowler is, the door blows off its hinges. Kingpin brought everyone. Doc Ock, Scorpion, Tombstone, the Prowler. The Prowler chases Miles down, corners him, and raises his claws. Miles pulls off his mask. Aaron stops. He says his nephew's name. And for the first time in the film, someone chooses a person over a job. He lowers his arm and tells Miles to run. Kingpin is watching. He orders Aaron to finish it. Aaron refuses, so Kingpin kills him. Miles carries his uncle to an alley and holds him while he bleeds out. Aaron apologizes for what he was, and his last words are 2 of them. Keep going. Then Jefferson arrives and finds a masked figure crouched over his brother's body. He draws his weapon and shouts. Miles turns invisible and vanishes, leaving his father kneeling in the street, certain that Spider-Man killed Aaron. Back in his dorm, Miles falls apart. The other spiders find him and change the plan. Peter B will stay behind and die shutting the machine down. Miles argues, so they web him to a chair, take the override, and leave. Then his father knocks on the door. Jefferson has no idea his son is inside in a Spider-Man suit. He talks through the door anyway, and for the first time he stops giving orders. He admits he is not good at this. He says he sees something bright in his son, and asks only that whatever Miles chooses to do, he does not shut him out. That is the turn, not training, not powers. A man finally saying the true thing out loud. Miles focuses, and the venom blast comes when he calls it. The webbing snaps. He takes a suit from Aunt May's, grabs spray paint, and makes it his own. Black and red, his design. Then he climbs the tallest building he can find, stands on the edge in the snow, and steps off. He does not fall this time. The image flips so he looks like he is rising, and he catches the air, and he swings. Notice how he moves from here on. For the whole film, he has been animated a half step behind everything around him, slightly blurred, always late. From this jump onward, he is sharp, smooth, on time. The movie told the audience he was not ready by the way he moved. Now it tells them he is. Kingpin has thrown a public memorial party for Peter Parker to hide the Collider's activation. Hundreds of guests, staff in SpiderMan costumes. The spiders walk right in. Doc Ock is waiting, and the fight goes badly. Peter B is about to be killed, and Miles drops in and saves him. The others see him land and know instantly this is not the kid they tied to a chair. The fight turns. Spider-Ham flattens Scorpion with a cartoon mallet. Miles gets the override into the machine. Then it is time to go home. Penny goes first. Noir returns to 1933. Spider-Ham says goodbye. Gwen and Miles manage the shortest, most awkward goodbye in the film, and she is gone. That leaves two. Peter B says he will stay and destroy it. He means it, and it would fix everything wrong in his life at exactly the wrong price. Miles tells him no, and pushes him through the portal, sending him home to fix his life instead of ending it. And then Kingpin walks in. The last fight is not close. Miles gets hit like a car crash over and over, but the collider is failing, and doorways start opening at random. In one of them, Fisk sees Vanessa and Richard standing right there. They look at him, and they are afraid of him. They back away. That is the answer to the question he has been asking for years, and it is the same answer he got the first time. His family is not lost. His family saw him and ran. He comes at Miles with everything he has left. Below, Jefferson has arrived and can see the fight. He does not know who is in that mask. He shouts encouragement anyway. Miles hears his father cheering for Spider-Man and gets up. He waits, dodges, gets close, and unloads a full venom blast into Wilson Fisk. It puts him down. Then Miles shuts the collider off and destroys it, and reality snaps closed. Afterward, Miles calls his father as himself and says he is sorry about Uncle Aaron. Jefferson tells him he loves him. Then Miles puts the mask back on and drops down in front of him as Spider-Man. Jefferson does not draw his weapon. He says that whatever he thought before, he was wrong. The city has a hero, and Miles hugs him. Jefferson is confused, then he is not, and he hugs back. He does not know who is under the mask, and something in him knows anyway. Miles goes back to his dorm, paints his walls, does his homework, and gets on with being 14, Spider-Man, and also a kid with a physics class and an uncle-shaped hole in his life. The movie ends the way it started, with a Spider-Man telling his own story. Only now it is Miles telling it, and he is not tired of it. He is just getting started.